How's it going, guys? And welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game, or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Little Yeeti. If you'd like to farm the Yeeti for yourself, you're going to want to first actually fast travel over to the Cankerword on Xylurgos, and exit out back through the map entrance and into Stittermaw Basin, as this puts you closest to the save station that we'll be using. From there, you're going to run forward and outside of the mine, and actually all the way over to the entrance of this mining camp, where you will find the save station that will be resetting from. From there, you're going to backtrack into the mine, where on the left side of it, you will find a tunnel which will lead you to the Yeti. Kill the Yeti and you can get yourself a Little Yeeti. Now, of course, this is a bit of a walk, but that is the closest save station, as unfortunately you can't reset from the Cankerwood entrance. The Little Yeeti is a legendary Jakob's pistol, unable to roll in any elements, but able to roll with either 2 or 6 projectiles per shot for the cost of 1 ammo for each. The Little Yeeti shoots out shotgun slugs that can knock back enemies, and when you store a kill with either melee, slam, or slide damage, it will refill the magazine of the Yeeti. The Yeeti did receive one buff, being a 33.3% weapon damage increase. So starting off, I literally didn't even know about the refill mag on melee damage kill until midway through recording this video. It's pretty inconsequential and honestly a bit of a weird effect, since this gun only gives 40% melee damage, so you really wouldn't use it for a melee build, but it can still be procced decently often with a normal gun build through Groundbreaker. But the reload time really isn't that bad, and certainly not bad enough to warrant going out of your way to avoid reloading, so it is nice on the occasions where you mag dump into one enemy and slap another with Groundbreaker, but it isn't anything that's actually worth trying to play around. The knockback effect of it also is kind of the same story here. It barely even ever triggers. Like, getting the clip for the showcase where it knocks back a stag was fucking agonizing, and as rare as it is, it's not really like it does much when it does happen. It's kind of more so just added visual feedback. And with that, I do kind of wish it happened a little bit more often, because watching enemies ragdoll is always enjoyable. Next up on the list of things to bitch about, the ×2 is so drastically better than the ×6 that it's almost not even worth talking about, which is exactly why I'm not going to, beyond saying that ×6 is literally just straight up worse damage for more pellets. Usually guns, when gaining more pellets, lose out on damage per pellet but gain overall higher damage. This is because it lowers the range, and it's not always guaranteed that you'll hit all of those pellets unless you're barrel stuffing an enemy. But with the ×6 Yeeti, the overall damage is worse. You can stuff the fucking barrel of the Yeeti into any orifice of whatever enemy you want, and it's just going to do less damage than the ×2. And again, this is still more pellets, so it's still coming at the cost of having more pellets. Your range is lower, and you're not guaranteed to hit all of them all the time. So not only is the ×2 more damage, it's just far easier to hit all of the pellets consistently, and it increases your overall range to use it. If you get a ×6, toss it and keep farming. It's not worth it. Now, with that all being said, you may think my opinion of this gun might not be too great, but no, you'd be fucking wrong, because I fucking love this thing. It has legendary effects that don't really matter, and it has a weird masher variant that kinda just shouldn't exist, but holy fuck, this thing slaps, and it slaps hard as shit across all content in the game. It's incredibly fucking fun to use, it's a really good Jakob's pistol, and it is definitely worth picking up if you're a Jakob's fan. That being said though, you might think just with how this gun is, being very high damage, low pellet count, it would function as like sort of an Unforgiven-esque pistol, being more of a precision mid to long range weapon, but that's not actually the case. The Yeeti does have lower accuracy and slightly slower moving projectiles, which makes this function best at a close to mid range. This can feel a little bit awkward to get used to at first, just because again, lower pellet count, your brain kind of associates that with longer range, but you just gotta remember to treat this more like a Maggie than a Moonfire. It does have the potential to still work at longer ranges, but it is just a little bit more inconsistent, especially again due to those slower moving projectiles as well. And as some of you also may know, I usually bitch about slow moving projectiles a lot, as I'm not usually a huge fan of them. Usually I think that they aren't warranted for a lot of the guns that have them, and I often feel that they just make guns feel more clunky. With the Yeeti though, I didn't find that at all, and it's mostly because the fucking damage of this thing just more than makes up for it. This is a gun that having slower moving projectiles on just feels completely warranted, and regardless, it just still feels really good and really satisfying to use. It is also worth noting here though that Amara can help out a hell of a lot with the projectile speed through heavy rain, and the projectile speed increase was definitely noticeable and did extend the range quite a fair bit. Overall though, I just think the Yeeti is a very fun and very unique Jakob's pistol. It is a high damage, one-tap, close to mid-range weapon, with special effects that do reflect this, although are kind of inconsequential. But among the sea of Jakob's pistols, which are often pretty similar, I think the Yeeti does definitely stand out. out. Whereas most of those one-tap weapons are medium to long range, the Yeeti fits more into the class of the Maggie, the Trick Shot, and the Flood, being close to mid-range yet offering a unique playstyle within the close-range Jakob's pistols, being that it is still meant for that one-tap playstyle. And fuck is it damn good at it. That's not about do it for this one though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. Down in the description will be a link to my Twitch channel where I'll be live right after this video goes up, although I'll also be live right here on YouTube as well. And just below that Twitch link is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.